That's the new thing. That's the new
That's
thing. It's almost a little
cool.
too long. It's almost a little too long to be there, but it's there.
That's fancy, man.
Yeah, I felt like important.
Important.
I was like, hey, we're super important. Look at that.
I know. It's great. We got a comment. We got a comment. Oh, what? That's cool.
Oh, it's me. I'm starting off the comments.
You nerd.
Priming the pump.
I wanted that there for historical purposes.
Well, this is the mashup we all 90 kids wanted. Ren and Stimpy and the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. We can't stop here. This is Log Country.
Welcome to For Music Lovers Only, a podcast where each host makes a top 5 list of their favorite songs from this week's topic. Each week is a new topic. Tune in, I dare you. Music Lovers Only.
Well, without further ado.
Adieu.
How is everybody doing tonight?
Wonderful.
I'm great. I'm going to be honest. Can we go back to the Ren and Stimpy thing? I mean, we're great. We're fun. That just looks no. If
I know that would be
the link to that, I'd like to watch that after this show.
Yeah, that'd be great. That was an old sticker I made just for fun. I mean, an old design. I kind of been taking old designs and make t-shirt designs and making them into stickers just for this upcoming show. February 7th, everybody be there. Sontia.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
Everybody out there in Viewerland. But yeah, I'm Josh. We got Sontia next to me, Coach below.
Hi, I'm Coach.
We're running a little late, but we're gonna talk some Mac Miller. This was a tough one for me to narrow down just because a lot.
He's your guy. I've never met an artist that was more would be your guy. I did not. I mean, me and Sontia and you, I think, talked about this. That I know some of his music, but I did not know his music. Yeah. Wow.
I got into him late. He was still alive, but it was late. And like I said, some of the newer or his first stuff, his early stuff, he was kid. And
that's what's funny. I would say
33 this year. He would have been 33, so he would still be what I would consider a kid. So I'm like, I didn't get into a lot of it at first, but now I kind of go back, and now that I'm trying to get sentimental and feel like a kid more, I listen to it and I like a little bit more of that early stuff. But the older stuff, the dark stuff, where he almost knows his jig is up, and so he's writing a couple songs about it, albums about it.
I would say albums about it. I mean, like if there was ever wow. Like, I mean, there's only a couple artists ever that have ever, and I was, crazy enough, and I dug more and more, and I do maybe fell in love with some of the later stuff. We'll get to that. But I would say I was more of his early stuff because he was more hip hop rapper then, and later he was more blues. I don't even know what you call it. It's like an R&B. I don't know what the freak it was at the end. I mean, it wasn't, I don't mean that in a bad way.
It was very disco.
There was so much just, I don't know, man. I mean, it wasn't
traditional hip hop. That's what I liked about the other stuff. Cause I mean, the beats and everything, a lot of piano,
a lot of guitar.
He had a lot to do, from what I understand. He made a lot. I mean, helped make a lot of beats. He was in there, like, almost like a band, writing the music.
Right.
That's what I like. I mean, some rappers that just go get on somebody's beat, and they think they're all this and that, and it's like, well, I mean, you wrote some words, but
you could tell, like,
if you're doing the music too, then I definitely, you get extra bonus points with me.
Yeah. You could tell that he had a bigger hand in what he was writing. Even in the beginning, when he was more like just doing a lot of collabs and he was just doing just his basic stuff, you can kind of tell that he ran it. Like he was the head honcho as far as how all of that was going to go. And I just like the different collaborations that he did. One of the things that I really loved about him is he never stopped being him. Like, he never stopped his flow, his style with anybody, no matter who he was playing with.
I don't know if there's any artist ever that has evolved in music quite like he did, as quick as he did. I mean, there's artists that have started here and went there at the end of their careers, but his is 6 years, or you know what I mean? It was such a short, narrow one that, and then from the beginning stuff to some of the last, and even, I mean, still, I think a brand new one dropped today, and another one dropped 2 days ago, and there's another one dropping on his birth. I think the full album drops on his birthday. They have a whole nother album or 5 songs, or I don't know what it is. I was looking that are coming out that are, you know,
it was a full album. I don't know how much of it was maybe, you know, like skits or, you know, just him talking or something, you know, poetry or interludes or something. But
so far, the first 2 songs I've heard on there are real songs. I mean, you can tell there's some looping and some stuff done with them, but it was stuff you could tell he was working on, obviously.
Yeah. So this was awesome. It was hard. Like, before I got on here, I did my finishing touches on some of the songs, and it was like, I don't even know if this is gonna be it, but I'm gonna pick 5. I'm gonna just have to do it.
Yeah, I think tonight was the best for me because I took like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 of my favorite songs and I put them saved in straight in a row on the songs I was kind of deciding on, and walked and ran to them, where that's like a true time to hear it, because I'm driving in the car, I'm doing stuff, there's so much else, I'm not listening to it all, man. And this, like, I heard every word, and some of the songs, honestly, that I got to one that I kind of didn't even like the first time I listened to it because I didn't like the music as much, but then I heard the words, and it moved, it was like almost made to my top 5 list. You know, so
he was absolutely a lyricist. Just his messages, and even just talking about how, I don't know, just talking about how fame was so fake and phony, and what he was going through, and everything that was around him. But he was going to keep shining no matter what, even though.
I don't know if it makes the list. He has a song where he talks about how he's alone, but he's never alone when he's by himself. He's more alone when he's in a crowd. And that was toward the end. And that, like, there's one of, like, there were so many things, even in the songs that weren't like maybe the as down ones, there was like just a thing that was like, here's, okay, hey, listen to me. Somebody hear this.
Yeah.
Like, people did hear it. They're just, what do you do?
He was on his way out, because they say that he died of an accidental overdose, and I don't know that it was accidental.
No, it wasn't. But he'd ordered something and they had fentanyl in it.
No,
is what I remember.
And he was going hard. Like, if you even hear some of his, and some of the stuff I read, he was so drugged up when he was in the album. But that's like some of the blues stuff. Like, his voice is so raspy, and like he's so young to sound how he went from. I mean, and I get you're kind of trying to sound that way, but boy, you could tell he was going hard.
That Tom Waits
horde. All right. Yeah, I had fun, man. It was a good thing.
Good therapy. Well, do we want to get into it, or do we want to baloney some more? Try to do a short one since I was running late.
Yeah, either way, at this point, my family will probably be to bed before we get done. So I'm in for a 4-hour show, or want to go to bed by about midnight tonight. So whatever that gives us from here, that would be a 4-hour show, almost 3 hours, 30 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to yell at one of my kids in a minute, but you'll just see me go like this.
I thought I missed the spin. Are you spinning now?
You spinning now?
Okay,
I'm spinning now.
I was like, I'm missing my cue.
Oh no!
The wheel knows ladies first. Oh.
It knew you weren't ready. That's why it does it.
Oh, I wanted you guys to do yours to see if you cleaned up some of these so that I could have less of a list.
Well, I was gonna say this year, we should do something new, and you get one like pass for the year. Do you want to use it in the second show of the year, though?
Or being a new year, how about whoever gets the spin gets to pick?
Ooh.
Whoever gets fun then gets to pick who goes.
So your name got spun, so you get to pick who goes first.
Oh, well, we can't just do this impromptu. We're civilized.
Let's do your list then. We were just trying to be nice to you. We're so gentleman-like. We were just nice.
You are such fucking gentlemen. You really are.
We're a bunch of good fucking guys over here, okay?
Okay. Oh shit. Okay, here we go. All right. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Okay, number one I'm going to pick is going to be Blue World from Circles.
That's a good one.
It looks like that was one of the post-mortem albums.
Yeah, he was working on that album when he died from Circles.
That was actually I mean, everything was written in that album, but that was the song I was actually talking about that I didn't really like the first time I heard it, and then listened to every word of it tonight, and it almost made my list.
Oh yeah. I loved it. When I first heard it, I absolutely loved it. And I just learned probably about 30 minutes ago that this was actually a song that was made after his death, which made it almost eerie to me, because out of all of the songs that I listened to, this was the one that was more like, I don't want to say hopeful, but it was kind of like, no nonsense. I'm not kissing no babies. I'm not politicking, and the devil's on my doorstep being so shady, but you ain't got to let him in. Like it was more hope and inspiration in this song than a lot of the other songs that he had, because he had no bullshit songs. He had fuck you songs. He had hip hop songs, but this one it just felt like really deeper to me. And of course, you know how I like the 1920s. And that intro, it's a blue world without you. Like, I was like, oh, that's my jam. So that is going to be my number one. Number two, we are going to go Diablo. And that my bad.
That's okay. I have the sounder. I have to use the sounder if you take a song, though. I mean,
I know.
Good would the sounder be without it?
You paid 99 cents for it. You got.
I paid for that sounder. I got this freaking expensive board that I never use. I got sounders on it. You know, I need to use it every once in a while, guys.
That's it. What other sounds are on there?
So just chill out.
All right. So Diablo from Faces 2014. And what I really liked about this song is that it was so dark and scary, and it was in your face. And I just did this the whole time. I was like, oh, that
might be his most gangster rap song too. Like that was when he was like, that was a rap song almost the entire way through. There was no singing, no talk. I mean, that was just a rap song. Yeah.
It definitely. And it was just like, and I liked how the beats would kind of just go off, or they would just change. And then it was like you were trying to keep your balance during the whole song. It was
talking about Pablo Picasso, and dude, he just hit it in there. That was like, he murdered some lyrics in there. I mean, like that was just like, that was a badass song, man.
Absolutely.
That's why it was on my list.
Yeah. But it's not anymore.
I didn't listen to it very well. That album I couldn't really get into.
I don't know if I like any other song, or I don't know if I have any other song off that album, but that is by far.
Yeah, nothing really grabbed me. I must have missed it, but
go back.
There will be a playlist.
Go back.
Yeah, I pretty much skipped Faces too. Diablo came on as I was listening to somebody else's playlist, and I was like, "Hey, where did this come from?" And it's like, "Oh, I skipped that album," so I tried to listen to it again, and it just is still. It's not a bad album. Like Faces is a good album.
I didn't hate it. I just didn't get into it. There was I think we all said there was so much content. We were like, no more. I mean, I had my 20 already before I started looking, and so I had to okay, I can't look, so that's why I didn't pay attention to that one.
Yeah, it was absolutely, for a minute there, it was overkill. It was. All right, number 3, Nike's on My Feet, from 2010 K.I.D.S album. I wasn't even gonna pick that one because I thought that nobody would have picked that one.
well, Nelly Jordan's, wasn't it? Nelly with the Air Force Ones.
My Air Force Ones. I was even gonna reference that one. Why I picked that song.
think that was Mac's version of the Air Force Ones. There.
I think it was, man. It's okay. I bumped another song earlier, and okay, that's okay. I can rework my whole list. Don't worry, you just keep going.
I have 18 songs on here. I don't know why I keep hitting yours.
Because we have similar taste in Mac Miller, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
That's okay. That's okay.
Well, the reason why I like Nikes on my feet was because of how innocent it was.
Yep.
And how he just talked about, having nice shoes and hotel smells like cigarettes and weed. Yeah. And it was just like, it was like, hey, I'm somebody, kind of.
Fun party song.
Yeah, it's a party song. So that's it. All right. So that was number 3. Number 4 is going to be Ladders.
Yep.
No sounder. No sounder.
Good song, though.
Yeah. So that was a good song.
Yeah.
I liked it because when I was thinking about disco, when I was talking about how he sounded more disco, this is his most disco sound. Like this is it. Putting the ladders all the way up where we're touching the sky. Yeah. Definitely a hopeful song about just really making your way up. And as we all know, I love Freedom and Nickelback. And that was one of the things that...
In those orders, or is it necessarily in that order?
Freedom mostly.
Okay. All right.
It goes Freedom, Nickelback, and then My Children.
Okay.
Good
list. Good list.
Good list.
But yeah, so that's it. I liked it. It was a really good song, and I appreciated it.
It was.
All right, so that was 4. Okay, number 5. We're gonna go with my actual first song that introduced me to Mac Miller. And my oldest son actually was the one that brought this up because I was like, have you heard of Mac Miller? And he was like, shut up, Mom. And then I was like, what's your favorite Mac Miller song? And he said, Dang. And
good song.
Yep. And I was like, oh man, how did I forget about that song? Because I played that song 84,000 times when I first heard it. And it was just so funny. And my favorite lyric in there is I wonder if I could say my favorite lyrics on here, but he says that the dick ain't free because I don't give no fucks.
Yep.
That was like the for some reason that was the most clever thing I ever heard in the history of things that I've heard on a song.
He has another line where he says, "She gave me so much head, I got a concussion," and that was also one of my favorite lines ever freaking said on a freaking song.
Yeah. I hope the kid doesn't know, but she's in middle school, but she knows what it means. What am I going
Dang,
oh my God.
Playing.
Yeah.
And that's my list.
Good list. You didn't knock any of mine off.
It was a great list because you took half of mine. So I mean,
Dang was on my top 10. It was on my top 10.
Mm-hmm.
It was one I had to, but it didn't make the 5.
Mm-hmm.
Good list.
Yep.
Thank you.
We're back. Hold on. Let me. Okay, go for it. I was just in full screen and I had to get down to not full screen. Coach.
Go wash your butt.
So you didn't mute it when you did that, by the way, just so you know. But it's okay.
I muted it and then it unmuted once the thing stopped, and then I was like, I'm glad I didn't cuss.
Okay, everybody needs to wash their butt every once in a while, or nightly, daily. I do mine morningly. So my list, I had all of my my albums with my songs, but then I just had to change it real quick, so I don't all of them. But anyways, my number 5, Programs. And I don't even know if that was on an album. I mean, it might obviously was, but like on everything that what's that?
Maybe an EP.
Okay, because everything I seen it with, it was like by itself. Because like even on Spotify, usually it shows the album or whatever's going behind it or with it, and nowhere on this one did I. And that was another one probably besides Diablo. That was one of his like more just like straight rap songs, kind of all the way through. There was still some of that, but
yeah.
Good one.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 for me was Surf, and then from Circles. And that would be the opposite of what I just said because there was very little rapping on it. But that one, like, that's so deep and so. I mean, even in that song, he tells you everything going on, and I don't know what's getting ready to happen. Maybe I don't know how to describe it.
Premonition.
Yeah, I remember I listened to that song, but I only heard it. I listened to the rest of the songs like 10 or 12 times, and I heard that one like twice.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that one twice.
It was a good one. My number 3, it's the only one I have on here that's on my list that is with somebody else, but this one's with K.I.D, Cinderella. And it's, like I said, most of mine are more of the rap songs. I did tonight maybe more, and I think the reason why like the earlier stuff is my favorite is maybe kind of even what Sontia alluded to. He was so happy then. He was just a young innocent kid, and later on I think it's like, I mean, it might be better, it's more lyrically better music, but it's like you're watching like the end, and it's like I don't know how to describe it, but
it really was. You could tell he didn't even spiral down, he just kind of coasted.
It was crazy because I even remember, like, you go back and watch some interviews and some stuff with him, like there isn't a white spot on his eyes on a lot of them, and there ain't a pupil in some of, like, I mean, he was just living life as fast as he could, and he did not handle some breakups good, and
I think his interview and a couple songs he did for the Tiny Desk, was that PBR, whatever it is, the Tiny Desk, that's pretty good.
Well, that's what I said. Like, some people don't handle fame well. Like, everybody thinks they want famous until you get famous, and everything that comes along with it. And that dude, he wanted to do what he was doing. He loved making music and doing that, but I don't think he wanted to be famous after a couple of years.
Oh yeah, it'll get you. Yeah,
well, I think there's one song where he talks about having everything at your access and nobody telling you no. And like somebody needed to take it from his access and tell him no. But anyways, that was my number 3. Number 2 is an amended song, but I actually was so glad that I was able to put it on there. But it's Loud from Macadelic.
Yeah.
And that whole album, there's some of that in there, but that's just like he's kind of in his flow. He's feeling himself a little bit. He's Macadelic,
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was one of the albums that I saw where he was talking about how hard fame was hitting him, like where he had just it seemed like he had just really made it, and he was finally seeing just like the darkness and the demon aspects of the fame. And I had a couple of songs from Macadelic too that were just like, ooh, scary.
And I agree with you too. I guess there were a couple on there were exactly like that. And I guess you could, but I guess in that song, I probably more feeling himself. And then just, I don't know. I think I would always almost going to say after that, this album is kind of where it started going more to the, darker stuff or whatever. This wasn't such a dark album or whatever.
Yeah, that was 2012 is when Macadelic came out.
Okay.
First album was 10, so that's 2 years into his.
Yeah, because he references a bunch of stuff off of Kids on that album, where he's like, I was just learning, I was just a kid, or we were just kids.
Yeah.
And, he has a bunch of that stuff on there. And then my number 1, and what's weird is the first time, like, Circles, because like you said, it was a post, but it was all the stuff that was made while the end was kind of going on, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Yeah. But it was probably, I thought it would be a happy song when you first seen it, but it's not. But Good News, because all he's waiting for is some good news.
Yeah.
And the entire time through, he's just waiting for some good news.
Yeah.
And like that one was one that was like, holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah, I was like, wow, yeah.
It was like he made being like it was like he could be sad, but he could still kind of make it cool. Like he made depression cool.
Yeah, but I wish somebody would have told him it wasn't, man. God dang it, because I'd like to see where he evolved. I mean, he might be doing country now, and I might not like him.
But he'd be happy.
But
go Post Malone on us.
Be hanging out with Jelly Roll and Eminem and MGK.
Yeah, 223 million albums sold between of them, and some one of them sold 220 of them.
Oh, God.
We'll never let it go, Josh.
You
But
make an album like every year.
I mean, like I said, I hope it's true. I hope Jelly Roll gets them to cool the jets, and
I don't think there is jets. I think we've talked about that before. I think it. I mean, I think there's. Yeah, I mean, I think they don't like each other, and that's okay. But I
mean, they don't like each other from afar, but really, if you get MGK and
could you imagine if they collaborated? If those two did a song, even if they did, like, if they could,
my words, it'll happen.
Even if they could get together and do one of those like diss tracks to each other, like where they're lyrically challenging each other almost as much. But I will say, if they went right for right in a session, it wouldn't be good. You'd have to give MGK a couple weeks in between each one, but it would be fun. No, I'm just joking.
I agree. I don't think he could be on. He is not on his feet like Eminem and Eminem.
But I would listen the hell out of that song, and it would be on my playlist if we. Josh,
Lexi loves programs.
Great song.
Pick. Kevin said he fell asleep.
Everything I listened to put me to sleep. He listened to the later stuff, and if you're not listening and you're just the music's going, I guess I could see that. But if you're listening, there's no way, because he wrote a book and his songs, man. I mean, like,
the story was a piece of it. It was good.
When I first started looking at it, and it was the same thing with like John Mayer, and we did another artist, Aretha Franklin. Any artist dive that we did, when you just type in their name and then get on YouTube and look at stuff, they always play like the worst stuff.
Yeah.
So when I went to Mac Miller, I went to like other people's playlists. Like, what's your favorite Mac Miller song? And that's where I started really diving in. But like Kevin said, when I first started listening to it, I was like, I didn't think he was this boring. There's something that I'm missing. And
I like just going back to the first album. That's usually where I start on the artist dive, is just go back to their very first album, listen to that. And, I mean, if I already have songs I liked from him, or, go to there.
See, I found an album shuffle one for him where it basically goes in almost in order of his albums, one song from each one, and then resets. So you kind of got it. It was a pretty cool way to hear, but it was also a lot of evolution in 5 songs.
Right.
All right, Josh, let's hear your freaking list, dude.
I'll get my.
But you're.
Our playlist won't be boring.
This is going to be a phenomenal playlist. This is going to be awesome. All right, so my number 5 was I had just shared the rant from last week's show, where I ranted about shit. I said the F word, the S word, a lot in a really short amount of time, but this one kind of touched into that one a little bit. It's called Smile Back. It's off of the Blue Slide Park. That's his second album. And I've got 2 songs off of that album, and like I said, that's early and still, but it's still deep. It's like kid deep. And I mean, I always felt I was kid deep when I was his age. I thought I knew it all too, and that's the vibe it came off. But it's like, you talk shit and then you want something from me, I'm just gonna smile back. Homie ain't playing that.
Yeah.
That is the sentiment of it, and that's where I'm in life now. I mean, I wasn't there. I was, trying to be a social butterfly, trying to be a rock star, and out and sharing, trading energies. And now I'm like, oh God, no.
Yeah, could it?
Stop.
I just got there, so I get it.
What are you showing? What I miss?
I was just showing my fireplace off, but actually I was. Long story.
Long story.
I'll tell you after the show.
Okay. I was like, fireplace.
Keep warm.
Yeah.
Let them haters burn. My number 4 is A Weekend by Good AM.
Great song.
And yes, it teetered on the line, and it had to be on there. It's I'll be good by the weekend. Longer days, longer nights.
Everything will be good by the weekend.
And I think I had a 3-week run of going out. we caught what I caught. Where you play somewhere, didn't you, Sontia? I think
I played at Barleycorns.
we went to we went Barleycorns, and then we went to the Shamrock and something else. But I had 3 weekends where I went out, and then the last 2 it's been too cold, so I'm like, no.
Yeah, I don't socialize when it's below 30.
I totally get the hibernation. But I'll be good by the weekend. I still love the weekends. I hate working for a living. It's a trap. Don't do it, kids.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Missed Calls by Blue off of the Blue Slide Park album. And again, this is kind of a I mean, if you want to go, you'll be fine. If I'll be fine. Missed calls. I got missed calls and emails going into detail how you're just not happy. So just go.
Just go.
Yeah. That's one of the kids' favorites. She said it has to be on there too. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree because I've been on both sides of that song.
Yeah. And then number 2 is off of Circles. And like I said, that entire album could have easily been on there. I mean, like I said, Surf, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but that whole album, like I said, the darkness and the realness, it was real, I mean, the other shit he was kind of, putting on a show, putting on a front with, hey, look at my Nikes, he was kind of hiding behind that. And he's like, fuck, man, this shit's rough. I don't think I can handle it. And I don't think I'm going to make it, and that's kind of what it was. It was almost like, a cry for help too late. Yeah, Kevin's, I did the Christmas jam. Yeah, I went out and seen the Haters Coalition.
Oh, right. Was I there? I was there.
I think you went later.
I went the next day because they had 2 shows. You went to the Friday show, I think it was, and then I went to the Saturday show.
Maybe we've slept since then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole album, Circles. Just it so much premonition of hey, that this is it. This is the end. I'm not gonna make it, like I said, and that whole album. And then there's my number 1. I'm sticking with my number 1, but I thought for sure somebody would have put Self-Care on there.
Good.
So that's why I didn't put my Self-Care on there, because that was what album? That was the Swimming album, and that was before Circles. And so I think that's when I got into him, and that video is just insane. And that started, I think, the premonitions, because he's laying in the coffin in the video, trying to claw his way out of the coffin, crawls out of the grave in the video. And but the one I went with is Another Night on My Own.
Okay.
Or Another Night is the name of the song, and the album is the EP is On and Beyond. And this was 2011, so again early, and this was a heartbreak song.
I don't know that one, so that'll be awesome to go find.
Yeah, I was trying to think of it.
It wasn't on the, like I said, if you just looked at the albums, it wasn't there. I had found it on YouTube, and then so I searched it on Spotify, and it came up down on his EPs. It was like a 5-song EP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
good list.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we'll hear it on the playlist.
Yeah, we will have a playlist. Lexi says I have a playlist with this album. Get a chance to check it out.
I will.
Yeah, definitely.
Programs, Object in the Mirror, and 88 Keys. Oh, 88 Keys feature. I didn't know
that's an awesome song. I just heard that one for the first time tonight.
Really?
Yeah, and that is a really good song.
Yeah, I love Sia too. I'm going to listen to that after we get off of here.
I do want to do a verse from Surf. This is the one that I quoted earlier, and I misquoted a little bit, but it says, sometimes I get lonely, not when I'm alone, but it's more when I'm standing in crowds that I'm feeling the most on my own. Mm-hmm. And I know that somebody knows me. I know somewhere there's a home. I'm starting to see it. That's where I have to do, or that's what I have to do, is get up and go. But it's just like the song, it's a bunch of that stuff. And even the chorus of Surf. So go, yeah, well, it'll be on the playlist. But that was like the one of his. That's kind of that verse is when I started listening to Mac Miller. Does that make sense? I mean, I heard him, But when I heard that verse, because I've never that
around a little bit.
No, that is 100% me. That like literally when I'm sitting there playing a game or I'm sitting there by myself, I am completely comfortable. And that's not who I used to be. I was the guy that put me at a party, put me at Barleycorns, put me whatever. And now it's complete opposite. When I'm in a crowd is when I feel the most alone because I'm uncomfortable. I know nobody. I'm in my head. I'm whatever. So like I completely felt that. And then I started like, okay, I need to listen to this dude.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I completely feel that, especially with, and I'm always going to talk about my mental health work, just getting my mind together or whatnot. But once I started
What's up, Thomas? What's up, Thomas?
Thomas, Benny. That's my friend. But
Thank you, Lexi. Thank you. Papers, funny papers. Okay. No more interrupting you. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Thank you guys for watching and talk like
we appreciate the hell out of the comments and the watches
and interact. But yeah, just kind of going through my mental health and learning like what my issues were. And then going out after that, after like being isolated, you could just kind of tell like what people are dealing with. And for the longest time, it's just super uncomfortable. And it's hard to be out, and it's easier to just be in a safe space. But I think it takes mostly just like practice and then just knowing boundaries. Boundaries are the biggest thing because people try to get into your bubble. They try to push stuff on you, and that's where it gets uncomfortable. But once you get those boundaries, then it helps to be out, especially with us being super famous, awesome rock star people. Where we have to be out in crowds, you have to figure something out.
You just gotta say, homie, don't play that.
Well, that's what I said. Like that's what you felt in his music, even toward the end, was like he got everything he wanted. And did I really, did I really want it or whatever? Yeah. The first thing I ever seen from Mac Miller, or like that wasn't a song, I seen some little skit he did when he was young, and he went and dropped a CD off in a girl's car, and she's listening to somebody and it ends up being him, but he's like, hey, this is my new CD, blah, blah, blah. Check it out. And she's like, who the hell are you? I'm a rapper. And she's like, okay. And then she's like, hey, come over here,
that was 2010. That wasn't nothing like, 1980 Cold as Ice, or 1990. Vanilla was the first.
Vanilla
paved the way.
Drop that
Vanilla wasn't no rap. Don't no. I'll put freaking Snow over freaking Vanilla Ice.
Snow is far inferior. Like, no.
What?
Yes.
Mama?
Name 2 Snow albums.
I'm just joking with you. I rock the hell out of some Vanilla Ice, and I can do lyrics to 5 of his songs.
I think Snow had a pretty good repertoire, really. I mean, I probably have 5 or 6 Snow songs on my favorites, and Infama's not one of them. No, I think he was really all about that life, and I think he kind of grew up in Jamaica and everything. So I think, if I remember right, that he was, he did pretty good, and then I think he got in trouble. I think he killed somebody. I don't know.
He killed somebody.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, he sure did disappear.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he doesn't have 3 albums like Vanilla Ice.
I don't know. Thank you, Jana. Like I said, I figured you got your year picker there handy, Coach. Let's pick 3 years and do that next week. Does that sound good?
Yeah. You want to do it right now?
Yeah, we'll pick 3.
In just a second, I'll get it.
If you got it handy, if not, we'll do it off camera.
It takes me a second.
Okay. Are we picking 3 years and then letting the people vote?
Yep. I like that. That's fun. Let the people vote. So, like I said, Coach is getting ready to generate 3 years, and then on the Room Green Facebook page, I'll put a poll. Y'all can come vote. Tell us what year you want us to talk about next week.
I want to give a shout out to the Divine Feminine album.
Yes,
also,
that was a good one.
That was a good album. I had some songs on there, but I had to pick it the last time. But that was a good one.
This is a pretty awesome generator, and we have not done any of these years, but it does put two of them a little close together. The first three I got, we can decide I can do it again, but are 2004,
Ooh.
1953,
Ooh.
1960.
Well, I don't like the zeros.
1960 will be completely different music, by the way.
Yeah.
1960, not the 60s.
Yeah, 1960, 1953, and
Sorry.
not the 2004s, but 2004.
I did it one time.
One time. I won't let you do it again. I thought surely she's just messing with me. I thought you were messing with me. So I was like, okay.
I thought you were messing with me.
I thought you were messing with me.
I thought you girls were high and just heard what you wanted to hear, like most women do.
I wish I was high at that time, but I was fully sober, which makes it worse, actually.
All right. So 1953, 1960, and 2004.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think every one of those years would be awesome because every year we've done so far, guess what? Has been pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, we have fun. That's the point of it all. That's the point of life. Listen to great music and have fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Sorry for keeping everybody a little later.
Hey, Bucket Skin Man just wanted to come say hi.
Hi, Bucket Skin
before
Man.
we went.
Hi.
All right. I got to remember what button to push. It seems like we hadn't done this in a while, but we were here last week, weren't we?
I think so.
We were. We did our best. We did a
recap.
Flashback, a recap.
Yeah, and I got to remember what to do. Boom. Bye.
Bye, everybody.